Question. P.S. If n is a positive integer, and m equals n times of whole of n plus 1 times of whole of n plus 2, which of the following options must be true? 1. M is a multiple of 2. 2. M is a multiple of 3. 3. M is a multiple of 4. Solution. Property related to 2 and 3 consecutive integers. Let the starting number of 2 or 3 consecutive integers be n. Then, the product of 3 consecutive integers will be n times whole of n plus 1 times whole of n plus 2, and will always be a multiple of 6, since 1 of n plus 1, n plus 2 is a multiple of 3. And at least 1 of n plus 1, n plus 2 is even. So both a multiple of 3 and an even number is a multiple of 6. Also, the sum of 3 consecutive integers will be n plus 1 plus n plus 2 equals 3 times whole of n plus 1, and will always be a multiple of 3. We are required to select the options that will be true if n is a positive integer and m equals n times whole of n plus 1 times whole of n plus 2. M equals n times whole of n plus 1 times whole of n plus 2 means m is the product of 3 consecutive integers, starting with n. Now let us look at each option. Option 1, m is a multiple of 2. As we have seen, if m is a multiple of 3 consecutive integers, m will be a multiple of 6, and thus m will also be a multiple of a factor of 6. That is, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Thus m will be a multiple of 2. So this option is always true. Option 2. M is a multiple of 3. As we have seen, m is a multiple of 3 consecutive integers. M will be a multiple of 6, and thus m will also be a multiple of a factor of 6. That is, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Thus m will be a multiple of 3. So this option is always true. The product of 3 consecutive integers is always a multiple of 6. Option 3. M is a multiple of 4. M will be a multiple of 6, and thus would depend on the value of n, whether m is a multiple of 4 or not. If n is 2, m equals 2 times 3 times 4, and m is a multiple of 2. But if n is 5, m equals 5 times 6 times 7, and not a multiple of 4. So this option is not always true. Only options 1 and 2 are true, and D is the correct answer. This is a very good question. This is an approximately mid-40 level question, so make sure you remember how to solve it. This type of question frequently appears in the exam. Answer D.